Hello! Welcome to a review of the new mixtape from Gunna and Lil Baby, Drip Harder. Drip Harder brings together two of the Atlanta rap scene's biggest up-and-comers at present, Gunna and Lil Baby. Gunna has been around for a while. We heard him featured on Young Thug's Jeffrey album in 2016, and since then he's been releasing a slew of mixtapes to build up his reputation as one of Atlanta's most up-and-coming trap rappers. Earlier this year, Gunna released Drip Season 3, which brought him a lot more attention and really gave his career a kickshot to move into a more mainstream direction. Meanwhile, Lil Baby has come up in a much more rapid manner. His career really started last year with his debut mixtape, Perfect Timing, and since then he's just been flooding the internet with a load of tapes, culminating in the release of his debut album, Harder Than Ever, in summer 2018. Harder Than Ever had some decent moments, most notably the track with Drake, which brought Lil Baby a lot more attention than he had previously, and is yet another rapper to really benefit from a Drake feature. I Love McConan, Dave, Fetty Wap, all these guys have had major boosts from a Drake feature when they were up and coming younger artists. And this seems to have affected Lil Baby as well, as he's getting a lot more attention since the release of Harder Than Ever. So, Drip Harder is the new collaborative mixtape from Lil Baby and Gunna, and it's sort of part of this new drip rap subgenre that's going on within trap. Drip rap is, I'm not sure if this is a popular term, but I see it as just everyone saying like drip drip, drip drip drip, like Cardi B and the Migos song from earlier this year. It's a bit like when everyone used to just say swag all the time in the mid 2000s. This is what drip feels like now. Drip is just all about like flossing, having loads of money. And as you'd expect from an album called Drip Harder, the bars are full of just boasting and outrageous claims about street life. And this is what Gunna and Lil Baby really are going to be talking about on this album. If you don't really like the trap, singing, flows going on, and just constant shallow references to drugs, sex and money, then this album won't really do it for you. But within this little subgenre, this little niche that everyone seems to be doing in Atlanta, this is a pretty decent mixtape. Gunna and Lil Baby are both quite up-and-coming artists at the moment, and they still wear a lot of their influences very clearly in their raps. Gunna feels like a Chief Keef prodigy here. He just even raps like him. He's got the same sort of tone of auto-tune that Chief Keef has used. Especially on the track Off-White, Gunna just sounds exactly like Chief Keef here. And a lot of his bars as well, Gunna, he sounds very stoned and just like he's just off his tits on codeine. There's some really lazy deliveries from Gunna here, like he's about to fall asleep. He sounds really bored at certain bits. For instance, on I Am, Lil Baby has a great verse here. He really carries this song. And then Gunna comes in on the last verse and he sounds like he's just woken up from a nap, or he's laying down in the studio in bed recording it. It sounds really boring. And I feel like Gunna, the reason he hasn't really broken out to the extent that Lil Baby has is because he's still too influenced by Chief Keef. He's just too fucked, really. He just sounds absolutely wasted. Now, Lil Wayne on the Carter 5, he sounded quite fucked up for a lot of it, but Gunna doesn't really have the cachet to make really boring, drugged out music and get away with it like Lil Wayne did on the Carter 5. Meanwhile, Lil Baby, someone I underestimated, he still sounds a lot like Young Thug here. Young Thug is massively influential in current rap music, and Lil Baby really uses the inflections and the delivery style of Young Thug. But Lil Baby is interesting enough as a person and a character to take him more seriously than Gunna, and he carries a lot of the songs on this mixtape. Underdog is one of the best collaborative moments on Drip Harder. Lil Baby's verse is great. Really like how he comes on in this song here. Gunna's does the hook really nicely as well. Belly's quite a nice song here. Again, like a lot of tracks on this is two verses. Gunna and Lil Baby just do a verse each, and then the hook. The flows are quite nice, really rapid delivery from Lil Baby in particular. I like the track Deep End, one of 2 Lil Baby solo cuts here. The production is really interesting. It has the trap rolling hi-hats that you hear on plenty of songs, but I really like the synths that are laid over the top here. The synths become a lot more prominent during the chorus. Lil Baby's got a nice flow on this track, talking about the dangers of the life in the street, and it just really works out quite nicely here. He's got a nice singing sort of style here, very Young Thug influenced, but enjoyable nonetheless. Close Friends is the other Lil Baby solo track here. Talks about a relationship Lil Baby enters into with a female that he knows as mates, and then they get together and Lil Baby fucked it up and he's asking for her back. This is one of the more emotional moments on Drip Harder, a mixtape that prides itself on being braggadocious and hiding its emotions. This is quite a open moment from Lil Baby and quite a refreshing track on the latter half of the album, which sort of drags a little bit when it becomes a bit clear that we're going to be repeating similar themes and similar style beats. Finally, Never Recover is the standout track from Drip Harder. This is the track featuring Drake. Drake comes in with a really searing opening verse. This is like proper braggadocious trap Drake. He's got some great bars here. Turbo and Tay Keith's production here is excellent, but the production on Never Recover is especially powerful here. I really like the haunting synths that come in during the verses. Drake's got great energy on his opening verse, and then immediately after Drake comes in Gunna. I really like the structuring on Never Recover. Drake and Gunna's verses come in back to back, and then we get a hook from Baby, which has got some quite nice lines about Kevin Gates, and then Baby's verse comes in after that and ends finally with Baby's hook again. By bookending Baby's verse with the hook, it sort of adds a bit of cohesion to the track and makes the structuring quite interesting here. Never Recover is the standout track on here. All 3 of the rappers come in here, really good. Never Recover is a fitting way to end Drip Harder. This is quite a nice mixtape. Gunna and Lil Baby have got nice chemistry here. The energy is high consistently throughout the project, and while there isn't much lyrical depth or emotion, that is the sort of style you expect from drip rap and the broader trap scene, so you can't really hold it too much against this album. And I enjoyed it. I think they've got good chemistry, Gunna and Lil Baby. Lil Baby certainly carries this project. If Gunna was on his own, it would be worth a lot lower. But for me, I'm going to give Gunna and Lil Baby 7 out of 10.